Q Review. This time around we are doing Horrible Bosses 2, starring Jason Bateman, Jason Sudeikis, and Charlie Day. In Horrible Bosses 2, Nick, Kurt, and Dale, played by Bateman, Sudeikis, and Day, are all free from their past jobs with their horrible bosses and have since ventured out to become entrepreneurs and start up their own company. They create this brand new invention and they get pitched an offer to get it distributed by Chris Pine's character, who owns a business with his dad, played by Christoph Waltz. Now, when plans on this business venture sort of fall through, the three guys get screwed over and are going to lose their company and going to be in a lot of debt, and their lives are basically going to be shit. They then plan to kidnap Chris Pine and hold him for ransom to make their money and then stick it to another horrible boss. Now, going into this movie, I know what I was expecting to get acting-wise. Jason Bateman, Jason Sudeikis, Charlie Day, even Jamie Foxx, Jennifer Aniston, and Kevin Spacey are all back from the first one, so I knew it was going to be funny. I knew if they stuck to the way their characters were in the first one, that this was going to be a great, funny movie. And it was. It was a very good movie. It was very funny. And the three leads bring that same perfect comedic timing from the first one back into this one, and it worked so well, and it was so good. At times, the three leads even had a Three Stooges kind of feel to it, which I liked. They had like the bumbling idiots. At times you were sitting there and just like, what the hell are you doing? Don't do this. You're a fucking idiot. It was funny. It was funny stupid, and I liked that because that's what the first one was. These guys all get together and it's like a pinball machine. It's boom, 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 stupid idea, and that's what they are, and it's amazing, and that's what they were playing in the first one, and they're doing it again in this one, and it was awesome. I couldn't ask for any more from the leads. Their comedy was on point. It was timed perfectly. They bounce off of each other so well, and it just worked for this movie, and I really loved their performances, and I love that they came back for this. It wouldn't be a Horrible Bosses without Jason Bateman, Charlie Day, and Jason Sudeikis. Now, also, like I said, all the cast members are back from the first one, and that means Jennifer Aniston's back, Jamie Foxx is back, and Kevin Spacey is back. Now, all of these returning characters are funny. They are just as funny as they were in the first one. Jennifer Aniston is back with the same amount of screen time as she had in the first movie. Doesn't play a bigger part, plays about the same part, and she's very funny. And it's awesome seeing Jennifer Aniston do this kind of movie. Kevin Spacey is back, a little more funny than he was in the first one. Not as much screen time, be it, because he is not a main horrible boss. He's pretty much the same asshole that he was in the first movie. He still pulls out the gut busters, and he's funnier than shit, and I liked him in this movie. And finally, Jamie Foxx is back as Motherfucker Jones, and I liked Jamie Foxx in the first one. I thought he was very funny in the little bit cameo that he played. In this one, he's equally as funny. He's bringing his same character back, so you'll know what to expect from Jamie Foxx. He does have a bigger role in this movie, though. I liked him in this movie. I appreciated his extended screen time, and he made the movie funnier. I mean, it was already set up to be such a funny movie, but Jamie Foxx brings it, and it's a little funnier with Fox. Now, as for newcomers, we have Christoph Waltz and Chris Pine coming in, and wow, Christoph Waltz has this dry sense of humor that I really like, and seeing as how I haven't really seen him in anything other than a Quentin Tarantino movie except for Carnage, he has that kind of same dry, sarcastic, asshole vibe, sense of humor in this movie. And I think Christoph Waltz was very welcomed. I liked his performance. He wasn't in a great deal of the movie, but for the parts he was in, he played a perfect boss to the T. I would highly rank him up among the best horrible bosses. I'm glad that he chose to be in this movie. And now you also have Chris Pine playing the son of Christoph Waltz. And Chris Pine is pretty good at playing an asshole, I gotta say. He plays that douchey asshole pretty good. Chris Pine was in here a great deal of the movie, and in the great deal of the movie he spends with the three leads, and his comedy and their comedy bounce off one another, and it works really well. His timing of comedy is just in time with their comedy, and it works perfectly. I'm glad Chris Pine came on this movie and decided to be a part of it, because it was great seeing James Kirk interact with these guys and dropping F-bombs, and Chris Pine in a hard R-rated, just potty humor comedy. It was awesome. I like seeing Chris Pine drop F-bombs all over the place and not giving a shit. It was cool. I like Chris Pine. And I also want to say I'm glad that they didn't go with the Hangover approach that I thought they were going to go with for this movie, where they took the idea from the first one, keep the idea, and then that's going to be the movie, a replica. And it wasn't. It was different. Although a lot of the elements from the first movie are transported in this movie, it is not a recreation of the first movie, which I like. It had that different feel, so you know it wasn't a replica and actually a worthy sequel, which is hard to find, especially in comedies. Now, I want to say that the first one was probably one of the best comedies that I've seen in 2011, and I still bust that movie out every once in a while to watch it just for a good laugh. It's a great movie. The second one, I want to say that it's probably about as good, if not a little better than the first one. It's really fucking funny, and I liked it. Now, with that being said, there were some moments in this movie where the guys would tell a joke and they would kind of run with it, and it really wasn't that funny on takeoff, and they just kept running with it, and I was just like, okay, well, we can get to the next joke now, because I didn't really get a good laugh out of this one. So if I was to say, probably about 90% of the jokes in this movie were pretty awesome, and there was that 10% that was really like, it's not really needed. You don't need to go on this long with that joke. You can go to another joke. So overall, Horrible Bosses 2, hilarious. Very funny. It's a must-see movie. It's definitely a good way to round out the end of the year with a good laugh. I'm glad they brought everybody back from the first one. I'm glad they threw in Christoph Waltz and Chris Pine. Everybody worked together so well. They made such an entertaining movie. It was so funny. Now, this movie is in theme with the first movie, so if you did not like the first movie, you won't like this movie any better. If you thought the first movie was you're going to think this movie is maybe just a little bit better if you like that kind of comedy. If you don't like that dirty, raunchy comedy, you're not going to like this movie. And this movie does amp up the raunchiness. It is a little bit dirtier than the first one, but I like that. I like a little bit of toilet humor with my comedies. I'm sorry. There were those moments, that 10% where the comedy just kind of tripped and fell and picked itself back up and kept going. But the other 90% made up for it. It was very funny. It made me laugh a lot. I had a lot of moments where I'm still kind of picking out the good, funny one-liners that I can recite in my normal, everyday life as I go on. And for that, I am going to give Horrible Bosses 2 4 stars out of 5. Like I said, guys, if you love the first Horrible Bosses, you're going to love this one. If you're thinking about a movie to see over this Thanksgiving weekend, I would highly suggest you see Horrible Bosses 2. You're not going to regret it. It's going to be a good time for you and whoever you go see it with. Preferably some buddies or a girlfriend if she likes that. Family if they like that too. I can relate. My grandfather once watched American Pie 2 with all the great-grandparents for Christmas, so I'm used to watching these kind of movies with family. If that's weird, it probably is. So thank you guys again for watching. I hope you liked the review. If you did like the review, you can show your love and your support by subscribing below. Share this with friends. Let people know about them because I like letting you guys know what I think about movies, so hopefully that influences your opinion to go see it or not see it. Or if you do see it and you like it and I didn't like it, or vice versa, you can say, Chris, you're an idiot, this movie was awesome, you're a fucking fool, and then I can say, well, you know, everybody has their opinion and case closed. Anyways, guys, I hope you liked the video. Subscribe below. You can follow me on my Twitter page, @CEquinoa, and you can follow me on my Facebook page. And I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving, and I'll see you on the next review.